You're about to discover something that will completely change how you see certain people in your life. What I'm about to share with you isn't easy to hear, but you absolutely need to know this. Four friends were having a heated argument recently, and your name unexpectedly came up in their conversation. What they said about you while laughing will shock you to your core. But this revelation is exactly what you needed to hear right now. This isn't just random gossip or rumors. This is a divine message that the universe arranged for you to receive at precisely the right moment. Those strange, uncomfortable feelings you've been having about certain people in your life suddenly make perfect sense now. You deserve to know the truth about what people really think and say when you're not around. The conversation I'm about to describe happened very recently, and the energy from their words is still fresh and active in your life. You've probably been sensing something was off but couldn't quite put your finger on it. Your intuition has been trying to warn you, sending you signals that something wasn't right about these relationships. Now you're about to understand exactly what your inner wisdom was trying to protect you from. Here's exactly what happened during this argument between these four friends. They were discussing trust, loyalty, and who in their lives they could easily manipulate. That's when one of them brought up your name as the perfect example of someone who is easy to fool and too trusting for their own good. They actually laughed as they shared specific examples of times. They've lied directly to your face, and you believed every word without question. One person mentioned how you never seem to catch on when people are being fake with you. Another friend shared intimate details about your personal life that you had trusted them with in private moments, turning your vulnerabilities into entertainment for the group. They made cruel jokes about your dreams and goals, calling them completely unrealistic, and laughing about how naive you are to think you could achieve them. They discussed your generous nature, like it was a weakness they could exploit whenever they needed something. The conversation revealed how they really see you, not as a friend, but as someone they can use and manipulate without consequence. This wasn't just casual gossip or momentary meanness. This was a calculated, detailed discussion about your character and how they could continue taking advantage of your kind heart. They even planned future ways to use your trust against you, treating your friendship like a game where you're the only one who doesn't know the rules. The worst part is how much they enjoyed talking about deceiving you. Now that you know what they really think, certain experiences probably make much more sense. Think back to times when these friends gave you advice that somehow led to problems or setbacks in your life. Remember conversations where they seemed overly curious about your personal business, asking detailed questions about your relationships, finances, or plans. You've probably noticed how they're always the first to volunteer their help, but somehow situations get more complicated or worse after their involvement. They have a pattern of discouraging you from pursuing opportunities that could lead to your success or happiness, always with seemingly reasonable explanations. Pay attention to how they bring up your past mistakes during group conversations, disguising their cruelty as concern or helpful reminders. You may have caught them exchanging meaningful glances when you're speaking, like they're sharing a private joke at your expense. They tend to be the first people to hear about your failures and disappointments, but they're always mysteriously busy when you have good news to share. Notice how they react when positive things happen in your life. Their smiles don't quite reach their eyes. Their congratulations feel forced and brief, and they quickly change the subject or mention someone else who didn't succeed at something similar. They frequently interrupt you or dismiss your excitement when you're talking about something that matters to you. After spending time with these people, you probably feel drained, confused, or find yourself doubting decisions you felt confident about before seeing them. They love sharing stories about other people's failures, especially when you're feeling optimistic about your own situation. They've likely created situations where you ended up looking foolish or naive in front of others, then acted like it was just an unfortunate accident. Your instincts have been sending you warning signals, but you've been ignoring them because you wanted to believe these people cared about you. Understanding why these friends would betray your trust this way is crucial for protecting yourself moving forward. These people are actually threatened by your authentic nature and genuinely kind heart. Your willingness to trust and see the best in people makes them feel uncomfortable about their own deceptive behavior and cynical worldview. They're deeply jealous of your ability to form real, meaningful relationships with others. Your natural optimism and courage to pursue your dreams reminds them of their own abandoned goals and the excuses they've made for giving up. By keeping you small and doubting yourself, they maintain a sense of superiority that helps them feel better about their own limitations and failures. Each person in this group feeds off your positive energy and hopeful outlook to fuel their own lives, while simultaneously working to dim your light. Your potential success would prove that their negative, cynical approach to life is wrong, and they can't allow that threat to their worldview. They've created a toxic group dynamic where putting you down has become a form of entertainment that bonds them together. Each person has different specific reasons for participating in this betrayal. One might be jealous of your appearance, talents, or the way others naturally gravitate toward you. Another could resent your family relationships, your financial situation, or opportunities that come your way. Someone in the group might feel threatened by your spiritual growth, your wisdom, or your ability to see through surface-level interactions to deeper truths. They bond over shared negativity about others, and you've become their favorite target because you don't fight back or defend yourself aggressively. They've convinced themselves that they're somehow protecting you by not confronting you directly about their true feelings. In reality, they're protecting themselves from having to face their own issues, insecurities, and the emptiness in their own lives that makes them need to tear others down. The universe doesn't reveal painful truths without a greater purpose behind the revelation. This shocking discovery about your friends is actually a profound gift disguised as a betrayal. You were meant to learn this information now because staying blind to their manipulation would have continued holding you back from reaching your true potential. This knowledge gives you the power to make conscious, informed choices about these relationships instead of continuing to operate from a place of unknowing vulnerability. Your intuition has been working overtime trying to protect you, sending you uncomfortable feelings and warning signs that you've been dismissing out of loyalty and kindness. This is your opportunity to finally listen to that inner wisdom and surround yourself with people who genuinely value and respect you. Understanding their true motivations helps you recognize similar patterns in future relationships, protecting you from repeated betrayals. You now have clarity about why certain areas of your life have felt stuck, or why you've been struggling with self-doubt despite your natural confidence. This revelation is preparing you for a major transformation in your social circle and your entire approach to friendship. The temporary pain of this truth is preventing much greater long-term damage to your self-esteem, your goals, and your ability to trust your own judgment. Now that you have this crucial information, you can create appropriate boundaries to protect your energy and well-being. You don't need to confront these friends directly about what you've learned. Your changed energy and behavior will communicate everything that needs to be said. Start immediately by limiting how much personal information you share with them. Practice what's called the gray rock method. Become uninteresting and boring to manipulators by keeping conversations surface level and offering minimal emotional reactions to their attempts to get rises out of you. Stop asking for their advice or opinions about important decisions in your life. When they offer unsolicited guidance, listen politely but trust your own instincts above their suggestions. Create distance gradually rather than cutting ties dramatically, which could create unnecessary drama or make them work harder to maintain control over you. Before any interaction with these people, visualize yourself surrounded by protective white light that prevents their negative energy from affecting your mood or self-confidence. Keep conversations focused on neutral topics and avoid sharing your dreams, vulnerabilities, or exciting developments in your life. Pay close attention to how they respond as they sense your energy shifting and becoming less available for their manipulation. Some may try even harder to get emotional reactions from you when they notice you're not responding in your usual ways. Others might naturally drift away when you're no longer feeding their need to feel superior. Notice which ones attempt to guilt you for setting boundaries or accuse you of changing or being different. These reactions will show you exactly who was benefiting most from your previous openness and availability. Document any escalation in their behavior as you become less accessible to their manipulation. Seek support from genuinely caring people during this transition period. And remember that protecting yourself isn't mean or selfish. It's absolutely necessary for your mental and emotional well-being. This painful experience is actually clearing space in your life for authentic, healthy relationships to enter and flourish. Real friends celebrate your successes without hidden resentment or jealousy clouding their happiness for you. Genuine people don't need to tear others down or share cruel gossip to feel good about themselves or bond with others. Start looking for friends who actively encourage your dreams rather than subtly discouraging them or pointing out potential problems. Notice people who respect your boundaries naturally, without you having to defend or explain them repeatedly. Seek relationships that feel balanced, where both people give and receive support, rather than one person constantly providing while the other only takes. True friends will tell you difficult truths when necessary, but they do it with love, respect, and genuine concern for your well-being, not behind your back while laughing with others. Pay careful attention to how potential new friends treat other people when those people aren't around to defend themselves. Watch for consistency between what people say to your face and how they behave when they think you're not paying attention. Real friendship involves mutual accountability and growth opportunities, not manipulation, control, or entertainment at someone else's expense. Trust people who make you feel energized, confident, and more like yourself after spending time together, rather than drained, confused, or full of self-doubt. Look for friends who are actively working on their own personal growth rather than staying stuck in patterns of negativity and blame. Notice who reaches out to you during difficult times without expecting anything in return, and who genuinely shares in your joy during good times. Build new relationships slowly, and let people earn your trust through consistent, respectful actions over time. Remember that having fewer friends of higher quality is infinitely better than maintaining a large social circle filled with people who don't truly care about your well-being. This betrayal is actually catalyzing your evolution into a much stronger, wiser version of yourself. You're developing the kind of discernment and emotional intelligence that will serve and protect you for the rest of your life. Your natural empathy and kindness are becoming balanced with healthy self-protection and appropriate boundaries. This difficult experience is teaching you to trust your intuition above social pressure or the desire to be liked by everyone. You're learning that being genuinely kind doesn't mean being available to be used, manipulated, or taken advantage of by people with selfish intentions. Your standards for friendship are rising to match your true worth and the level of respect you deserve. This painful but necessary lesson is preventing much greater heartbreak and damage that would have occurred if these fake relationships had continued unchecked. Your Becoming someone who can quickly spot manipulation, tactics, and respond appropriately without second guessing your perceptions. Your energy is shifting from people, pleasing, and seeking external approval to authentic self, expression, and inner confidence. This transformation will naturally attract people who appreciate and value your genuine nature, rather than those who see your kindness as weakness to exploit. You're stepping into your power and learning to protect the beautiful, trusting heart that makes you special, while still being able to share it safely with worthy people. Take time to fully process this information without making any impulsive decisions about these relationships. Trust that this revelation came to you at exactly the right moment in your spiritual and emotional development. Begin implementing the boundary strategies immediately while this protective energy is fresh and strong. Pay careful attention to your feelings and energy levels over the next few days as this truth settles into your consciousness. Start journaling about patterns you now recognize in these relationships that you couldn't see clearly before. Prepare yourself for the positive changes that will naturally flow from this new awareness and the healthier choices you'll make moving forward. Remember that difficult truths are often gateways to much better circumstances and relationships. Show your appreciation for receiving this important life-changing message by giving super thanks up to $20. Trust that your life is about to improve dramatically now that you can see these situations clearly. The universe protected you by revealing exactly what you needed to know to move forward safely and confidently.